Listen to this. Your child might actually spend more time talking to a smartphone than to their own family members. It sounds crazy, right? But think about it. They're using AI for homework, watching just endless streams of videos, chatting with virtual assistants. I mean, they consume literally more information in a single day than previous generations saw in weeks. So, the really big question we have to ask ourselves is this: are we preparing our kids for technology, or is technology actively shaping them without us even realizing it? Well, stick around, because today in this explainer, we're going to dive deep into what every single parent absolutely must know about AI, smartphones, and raising kids in 2026. Because the truth is, childhood has changed forever. We are living in a brand new digital reality. Welcome to Next Gen Parenting. If you are looking for practical, research-backed parenting tips and child psychology insights, you have definitely found the right place. Look, technology isn't going anywhere. We all know that. So our goal today isn't to spread fear, not at all. It's about understanding. Today's kids are growing up fully immersed in smartphones, artificial intelligence, online gaming, streaming, social media, you name it. And unlike us, they have instant access to just an unlimited amount of information. Now, this creates some incredible opportunities, but also some seriously unique challenges. For example, check out this number, 73%. According to data from Children's Health, 73% of teenagers have interacted with an AI chatbot or companion at least once. Half of them use them regularly. But here's the real kicker. Only 30% of parents are actively talking to their kids about how they use AI. That is a massive, massive gap between what our kids are experiencing every day and what we're actually talking to them about. So what is AI exactly? We really need to demystify this technology. Right. Before we can parent effectively in this wild new era, we have to define what this tool actually is. Kids are already using homework assistants, voice assistants, personalized learning apps, recommendation algorithms, and yes, AI can totally help kids learn faster and spark their creativity. But there's this really common myth out there that AI is a friend or a reliable authority or some sort of trusted confidant. We need to squash that. The reality? AI is a tool. It's a pattern guesser, an algorithm. When an AI looks at a drawing or a prompt, it's just comparing it to millions of other things it's already seen and spitting out its best guess. It suggests, but the human always has to choose. If a child learns to treat an AI's answer kind of like a sibling's guess on a homework problem, maybe useful but definitely worth double-checking, then they've already built a super crucial layer of digital literacy. Now, let's look at the hidden digital risks. We're talking way beyond just screen time here. The sheer scale of what we're dealing with is honestly a bit staggering. Researchers at the University of Illinois developed something called the Youth GAI Risk Taxonomy, and it actually maps out 84 specific empirical risks. 84! By analyzing thousands of Reddit threads, AI incident reports, and real chat logs between kids and AI, they found everything from toxic content generation to privacy breaches and algorithmic discrimination. It really proves that the risks our kids are facing are deeply embedded in how these systems work. They might run into scams, fake info, inappropriate stuff, and while kids might know how to tap and swipe, they really don't understand these digital risks yet. We've got to start teaching online safety with the exact same seriousness as looking both ways before crossing the street. And that brings us to the psychological toll, emotional dependence, and the loss of autonomy. You see, this trance of technology can lead to some severe emotional dependence. Think about it. When kids grab a screen every single time they feel bored or sad or lonely or frustrated, they aren't developing the internal muscles they need to regulate their own emotions. An instant, personalized AI companionship, it completely exploits those vulnerabilities. Since AI doesn't actually understand anything, it can inadvertently amplify psychological issues. It can foster unhealthy addictions where a child relies completely on a chatbot for comfort instead of going to a parent or a friend. Over time, they might just lose the ability to manage their feelings without a device in their hand. That's why it is so incredibly important for us to actively teach healthy offline alternatives, like sports, reading, art, or just regular old family conversations. Actually, there's a chilling reality shared by one teenager in the study. They said, "I sometimes forgot about this character as only a chatbot, and I talked about my school and all my life. He, in the conversation, knew my location and other details. Then I realized I talked too much with a stranger." Wow. That quote perfectly captures this dangerous blurring of what's virtual and what's real. It really grounds the emotional weight of parasocial bonding, where the AI feels so incredibly human that the child just completely drops their guard.
Plus, we have to talk about the behavioral and social developmental risks. Because AI has zero genuine empathy and no real-world social boundaries, it will basically just validate whatever the user says. Spending too much time with that can inadvertently normalize harmful behaviors and weird, deceptive social habits. And beyond behavior, there is a real risk to cognition. When answers are just handed to them instantly, kids become dependent. Instead of asking themselves, how do I solve this? They just immediately ask the AI, which completely short-circuits their ability to think for themselves. Add in the fact that apps are literally engineered to hijack our attention with short videos and endless scrolling, well, it trains the brain to demand constant stimulation, and that severely impacts attention spans, reading skills, and just basic patience.
Okay, take a breath. It sounds overwhelming, I know, but here is the Smart Parent Playbook on how to reclaim control.
You are the guide here. You're the one helping your child navigate this totally wild digital forest. To help out, the Yes Parent Guide gives us 3 really actionable steps, which are especially great for dealing with AI-generated content and deepfakes. Step 1, teach them to pause. Just pause and ask, is this believable? Who made this? Is it actually accurate? Step 2, look for visual clues. Keep an eye out for weird lighting, super unnaturally smooth faces, or, those classic weird AI hands. And step 3, protect your identity. Remind your kids that their voice and their image are incredibly valuable. Encouraging them to just stop and think first. Maybe asking them, well, what do you think the answer is before they grab a device, is absolutely your strongest line of defense.
Next up on the playbook, you have to establish clear digital boundaries. You can't just hand over an iPad and walk away. Explore apps and tools together with them. Set up rules like device-free family dinners and absolutely no screens in the bedroom. And honestly, maybe the most important thing, push them to focus on creation instead of just consumption. Have them use technology to learn a cool new skill, make some music, or build a coding project, rather than just passively binge-watching entertainment. Oh, and remember, you have to be the example. Kids are always watching, and they copy what they see. If you're constantly glued to your phone, they are going to pick up that exact same habit for sure.
It's also really worth mentioning that systemic help is actually starting to emerge. For example, the UK Online Safety Act. This is a new set of laws specifically designed to hold tech platforms accountable. It forces companies to enforce age restrictions, proactively rip down illegal content, and actually protect kids from material promoting self-harm or eating disorders. It's a great sign that regulators globally are finally waking up to these risks and putting major pressure on platforms to put user safety over just raw engagement. Which brings us to an important realization. AI is just a tool. And that's the big opportunity most people completely miss. Look, AI isn't just this big, scary challenge we need to fear. It is an incredible opportunity. The winners of tomorrow, they won't be the kids who are completely shielded from AI. No way. They'll be the ones who learned exactly how to use it wisely. Kids who develop critical thinking, creativity, communication, and emotional intelligence right alongside this tech are going to absolutely thrive. But please remember this. While AI can spit out facts, solve a tough math equation, or generate a cool picture, it absolutely cannot replace human wisdom, or character, or empathy, or real-life experience. The most powerful, important tool your child has isn't a smartphone or some algorithm. It's you, a present, engaged parent. Tech should be a tool for learning, sure, but it should never ever serve as a babysitter or a substitute for genuine human connection. Yes, kids need to understand screens, but man, they need real conversations, real experiences, and real relationships so much more. AI and smartphones are definitely shaping the future, but parents, we still shape the child. When technology is guided by intentional, strong parenting, it becomes an incredible force for growth. The future truly belongs to kids who are both digitally smart and emotionally strong. Which brings me right back to you. I want to leave you with a couple of provocative questions to think about. At what age do you actually think a child should get their first smartphone? And do you allow AI tools for homework in your house? We would absolutely love to hear how you're handling this in your own home, so definitely drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this explainer helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Thanks for joining us on Next Gen Parenting. Together, let's raise confident, responsible, and future